It's time for Dodger baseball.
Swung on and missed a perfect game.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter.
Clayton Kershaw pitches a no-hitter. Turner in the air to center field. That ball's hit well. Martinez on the run. This is way back, and it is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner.
And for the second consecutive season, the Dodgers are going to the World Series.
Bellinger handles the ball. It's Bellinger's turn. Lifts a fly ball to left center field. Back towards the wall. It is gone. Mookie with another 3-home run game. Bellinger twisting around. Still going. He's at the wall. He leaps. And he made the catch. Cody Bellinger. A robbery of Tatis.
And welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Tonight, the Dodgers, they get bludgeoned by the Braves after dominating them yesterday. The Dodgers a real opportunity to get right back in this series. They get beat badly tonight in Game 4 against the Atlanta Braves. Last night, the Dodgers 15 runs on 16 hits. Tonight, the Dodgers, all they could muster up 3 hits, and the Dodgers get dominated in Game 4, and now their backs are against the wall. They face some elimination tomorrow, and I don't think this series is over yet, but we've got a lot to talk about. The Dodgers disappointing. It's almost as if they thought that they won the series last night, because they didn't. Yesterday was one game, today was one game, and that offense just did not show up. No competitive at-bats. You really didn't see very many ultra-competitive at-bats there in the first 6 innings. The Dodgers going up there, 5 strikeouts for the Dodgers by Wilson. 3 of those strikeouts, they were befuddled by Wilson, and they were swinging at pitches on the outer parts of the plate, pitches high. They just were not putting they just weren't putting the bat on the baseball there early on. The Dodgers, they take the loss, and now their backs are against the wall. Some serious adversity for your boys in blue. But hey, you know how we get down. This comment section is lighting up. So I'll be here all night. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I will get to your comments. You know how we get down. Let me know where you're agonizing tonight, because look, it's a different year, same thing, the same result. The Dodgers and breaking your heart in October. Name a better duo. You saw that tonight. But hey, we have a lot to talk about. I have a lot to get off my chest here after the Dodgers lose Game 4 tomorrow. Look, I'm telling you, the series is not over, but Yankees, we got Danny, need new players and a new coach. David, deja vu all over again. Week, at least you didn't choke. Dennis, fire Roberts. Denise, Daniel, man, oh man. Time for Kershaw to hang him up for the blue from Tay. We need new starting pitchers from Danny. Fire Roberts from Dennis. I'm sad. Jonathan Cortez over on YouTube. We got Mikey, fire Roberts. We got Ben Cornett. Dodgers had bat spasms tonight. I like that one. We got Jansen needs to go from Daniel. We got Brian Ozzie Gian. We got Tay, this is what happens when you fatten your record by only playing the NL and AL West. Think about it. That's from Jose. Jose, all you wanted was Donnie M out, and then now we got Just Hurts from Enrique. It sure feels like it's over from Jersey. Yeah, let me know right now. Do you think this series is over? To me, I don't think it's over. Dustin May can pitch well tomorrow. Walker Buehler in Game 6, and then they can force Game 7, and they can find a way to win this series. You remember what? Look, it's happened before. It's not like 3-1 in baseball is a mountain that hasn't been climbed. It's happened on many occasions. Look at 2016. Cubs came back on the Indians. 2012, Giants came back on the Cardinals. ALCS of 2007, Red Sox over Indians. So it is not impossible. It's not like they're going to be playing in Atlanta if the bats find a way to wake up and score some runs. But look, I'm not ready. I'm not there yet. I want to talk about today's game and what transpired in today's game. And yes, you can say what you want. You can say Clayton Chokeshaw. You can say Clayton Kershaw. I'm not going to do that on this show tonight. But look, it just wasn't he didn't have his best stuff. He was gritting and grinding out there. But look, 1 hit through 6 innings. That's not going to get it done. I don't care if you have Randy Johnson or Kurt Schilling or Sandy Koufax out there on the mound. There was no run support, and Clayton Kershaw had no business going in there in the 6th inning for another inning to face the top of that Braves lineup with Acuna. And look, he got rocked. A couple singles and a double there, and everyone in the building, everyone in Texas, everyone in Los Angeles, everyone in Atlanta, it It was coming. Everyone knew it was coming. And after Kike Hernandez made that terrible throw, the Dodgers defense was abysmal all night long. He didn't get any favors from that defense. I just knew it was going to happen. Got Pablo, they need to fix the attitude and energy to smack it out of the park. We got Braves, want it more, period. Jose Rod, he should never have been in the 6. We got Rainer, not Kershaw's fault. He needs run support. We got Luis Hernandez, the offense, no bats, no win. We got need attitude players, the consistent waste of talent. Brian, same year, every year in the playoffs, no offense. We got a sale loaner. I disagree with Dave Roberts. We got this team is soft from Moose. Ruben, this is the time that we need to execute. We have no excuse. Dodgers have played. Man, it's over from Brian Alex. We got Man, It's Over from Hojo Perez. No fire from Mike Misty Vidal over there on Facebook. 0. We got Mookie is overrated from Mario. So, yeah, Mookie Betts, another night where he denied. He came in tonight, Mookie Betts, and he was 2 for 10 heading into tonight. And Mookie Betts, he goes 0 for 4. He was hitting the ball hard. He hit that one in the first inning, just got right under it. He was hitting the ball hard, but yeah, he has to set the tone. He'll be the first to tell you that he has to find a way to get on base and generate some runs. And it starts with your superstars. Mookie Betts, he did not get the job done today. Now he's 2 for 14 in the series, and that's why we traded for Mookie Betts, and that's why we signed him long term. And I still have confidence that Mookie Betts is going to deliver for this Dodger team in his career, but tonight wasn't his night as well. And the Dodgers, as the team, collectively, from the bats to the arms, look, Bazooka Gratterall came in. He didn't deliver. Victor Gonzalez got touched up for a RBI single. Jake McGee gives up a home run there. Dylan Flora. I mean, no one delivered tonight for the Dodgers, and that's why they lost 10-2, and that's why their backs are against the wall, and they're facing elimination. The Dodgers could go down in 5. The best team in Major League Baseball, a 43-17 record, a team that averaged 5.8 runs per game, 118 total home runs, could go down in 5 at the hands of the Atlanta Braves, and that doesn't sit well with me, and I know damn well it doesn't sit well with Dodgers Nation out there. We deserve better as a fan base than to see the effort that we got tonight from this club. Look, I don't care how many runs you scored in Game 3, because tonight you came out flat. I don't know if it's the approach of the Dodgers out there, but look, I mean, they came out flat tonight, and I think that's what happens. I mean, there's 3 different. You got Aaron Bates, Van Scoyoc, Brown. I mean, there's 3 different hitting coaches out there, and I just did not like the approach by the Dodgers. Edwin Rios got the Dodgers home run, and they struck first blood there, and I thought that with Edwin Rios hitting that bomb and getting that early lead that they would build upon that, but it was not the case. But let me know down below in the comments, yes or no, will this series be over tomorrow? To me, I still hold out hope. Tomorrow is a new day. A win is a win. A loss is a loss. And to me, I think that Dodgers still have an opportunity to get back in this series when you consider the fact that we haven't seen Fried twice. I think that this Dodger the thing that concerns me is the Dodgers pitching. And I just don't see a lot of hot pitchers out there in the bullpen. And look, Clayton Kershaw, we can talk about his legacy until we're blue in the face. I don't think it's the time to go into a deep dive on his legacy. But look, he didn't deliver in that 6th inning, but you'll take 5 solid innings from Clayton Kershaw in a solo shot. You know what you're going to get with Clayton Kershaw, a guy whose home runs per 9 in the postseason is 1.4 compared to 0.7 in the regular season. You'll live with that Ozuna home run and give the ball to, whether it be Dustin May or Bazooka Gratterall. Look, you got to try to win today. You got to try to even the series today by any means necessary. And Dave Roberts, I don't want to hear that Dave Roberts is the first manager to win the division in his first 5 years. I don't want to hear that he has a 600 win percentage and that he's manager of the year in 2 World Series, all this stuff. Bottom line, he has no sense of the moment in certain situations, and you saw that tonight. Look, it was apparent. Clayton Kershaw was grinding those innings out. He did not have his best stuff. He did not have his best command. And look, I mean, he didn't, and that just, look, that's to be expected. You're coming off a back spasm injury. You're coming off an extended rest. And look, I think that you saw what happened tonight. And to me, it was no surprise when he started to get rocked there. He had no business there in the 6th inning. But, yeah, let's get back to your comments, guys. We're going to get right back here. Dodgers All Nation all day from Geo1. It's always been our lack of bats. Stop pitching to Freeman. Yeah, and you're letting Freddie Freeman beat you all day, every day, this entire series. Freddie Freeman tonight, he goes 2 for 5 tonight, gets 2 RBIs. And coming into this series, Freddie Freeman was hitting 167, and now he's hitting 429. So Freddie Freeman has been dominant all series long. And unfortunately, the Dodgers their strategy on how they're pitching Freddie Freeman is not working. Too many pitches in his fun zone, in his wheelhouse that he's driving, and the Dodgers just were not getting anything together on offense today. We're not finding pitches to hit, finding pitches they can drive. They were swinging at pitches that the Braves pitchers wanted them to swing at. You saw that throughout the night, and the Dodgers offense was absolutely non-existent. They're down there in Texas. After what they did yesterday, to follow that up with today was absolutely disappointing. It was unexpected, and it was unacceptable. All three of those for this Dodgers offense. But Kershaw is, Dennis, Kershaw is Mr. July, not Mr. October. Postseason Kersh strikes again. Mario, we have a 17% chance to win out for Moose. Should we be surprised? Honest from Gilbert. No, Doug, it's over. It's over, Johnny. Kershaw's done from Tom. Andrew, you hate to see this time of year. John Duran, no rings without firing Roberts. We got Sticka, Spork in them. They're done. By the way, Sporks, I love Sporks. A couple of long outs. The thing with Kershaw is he was getting those ground ball outs, but there were a lot of loud outs there in tonight's game, and I was fearing that, look, you're going to get that solo shot, but you don't want to walk guys, and unfortunately, like if you go to the bottom of the first, Acuna hits that one to left that drops for a base hit, 94.3 off the bat, first pitch of the game, then he strikes out Freeman with a slider, gets Ozuna to ground into a 5-4-3 double play, so he gives up that leadoff hit to Acuna there in the first, but rebounds to strike out Freeman, gets Ozuna to ground into a pitcher's best friend. So he comes out of the gates with 10 pitches, a scoreless frame there, 4 fastballs, 4 sliders. You saw the game plan. It was to throw that slider, throw that fastball, and hope that he could locate it. And he was for the most part. But when it starts to spiral with Clayton Kershaw, it spirals in a heartbeat. And I just can't believe that Dave Roberts in year 5 does not have the instincts to know that Clayton Kershaw is not going to quit on himself. He's not going to not want the ball in those situations. He's a champion. You don't become a Hall of Famer without a championship mentality. And Clayton Kershaw is not going to not want to go out there. He's not going to resist the opportunity to go out there in the 6th. You have to save him from himself because you screwed him last year when you brought him out there against the Nationals. You screwed him again this year. But bottom line is the offense was not going to get it done. I don't care if it was Clayton Kershaw or Sandy Koufax, whoever. Well, Sandy Koufax, actually, he would have actually won that game. You just need one with Sandy Koufax. But for most pitchers, that's not going to get it done. A 1 hit through 6 innings, and that 1 hit was that Edwin Rios bomb. So they were getting owned by this Braves pitching staff, but what a pathetic game from Young Stud over on YouTube. Jose Gonzalez, why, man? I can't take another year of this from Horta. We got Fire Roberts. Yeah, I'm not going to go into I'm not going to give you my thoughts. Just hold on for when we actually lose, because you're going to want to hear all my thoughts on what we should do with Roberts and Clayton Kershaw. I still think that we have to find a way to flush this loss down the drain and believe that we have an opportunity to get back in the series. It's baseball. It has happened so many times in Major League Baseball. It is not impossible by any stretch of the imagination. Like I said, Tommy Lasorda, the difference between the impossible and between the possible and impossible lies in the man's determination. And if this Dodger team wakes up tomorrow and decides they want to take Game 5, they can do it. They have the talent to do it. It's just they have to play with a little more grit and a little more fire there. We saw the Dodgers with an opportunity to find a way to get back in this game right there in the top of the 7th inning. And the top of the 7th, Justin Turner on the 9th pitch of the at-bat, singles to center. And Justin Turner, he's actually looking like he's starting to get going here, which is definitely a positive development, because that was Justin Turner's first extra base hit since September 25th, all the way back in the regular season. Muncy takes a 4-pitch walk, fouled off 5 pitches in that bat. A.J. Pollock pinch hits for Jock, and then a deep fly ball to right for the first out. We thought that could have been gone. Ends up on the warning track. A quality at-bat for Bellinger. He takes a fastball inside for ball 4. And then in comes Chris Martin, and the Dodgers' cold play continued, okay? He comes in to face Edwin Rios, and Edwin Rios, he flies to center. He does his job there. He scores turn to make it 7-2. And then Matt Beatty, he takes a nice at-bat by Matt Beatty. He takes ball 4 to load the bases. And then Will Smith, he lines 1 to second. The Dodgers leave the bases loaded, and they score a run on the Rios sac fly. But they had an opportunity to score some more runs, to continue to burn their way through this Braves bullpen, because in a 7-game series in 7 days, that's important, but they just didn't do it. And here we go. We swept the Padres to get to this point. We can do it from Gene Peacock. I like that. Look, let's Let's use this for catharsis. Let's get through this tough time, and then we'll start to swing on some. Then we'll start to throw on those positive vibes. Because look, I definitely think that the Braves team, this is not a dominant juggernaut Braves team. They have young pitchers. They have a pretty deep bullpen. But when your starters are as young and inexperienced as the Braves are, the window is still open for the Dodgers to climb their way back into this series. And unfortunately, Clayton Kershaw, say what you want, call him Chokeshaw, Kershaw. I'm totally fine because Clayton Kershaw, we can do a deep dive. I can spend a whole episode in the offseason doing a deep dive on Clayton Kershaw, whether it's overblown or not. Bottom line is his win probability in a postseason game is pretty much 40% of the time he's going to give you a clunker, whereas 8% of the time in a regular season game. And tonight, look, they should have took the fight, but they got greedy. They got greedy with Clayton Kershaw, and that is what happened tonight. That's why the Dodgers didn't deserve tonight, because Dave Roberts, like I said, Dave Roberts, man, like, I just don't understand. Why doesn't Dave Roberts at this point, it's almost, he's loyal to a fault, and either that or he's downright delusional Dave, that he thinks that Clayton Kershaw can go out there third time against that Braves lineup and get them down 1-2-3. Yes, it was some bad luck on that Kike Hernandez throw that allowed Acuna to get to second, and then everything started to spiral out of control. But look, you have to know what you have, and the velocity was actually still there. He was still hitting 92 there in that inning, but it's just another sad day. Like I said, heartbreaks and heartbreaks in October in Dodger baseball. Name a better, more iconic duo. It reared its ugly head tonight, but the Dodgers are not out of it. And let's get back into the comments, guys. If I have not gone to your comment, be sure to keep going through, plow through these comments. And also, you'll see your comment tomorrow on the Dodgers Dugout podcast. Be sure to subscribe to that podcast. And we'll worry about that another time. But I'm going to switch teams now. Never, James Delgado, never switch teams over on Facebook. I don't care if the Dodgers never win a World Series again in my lifetime. I will always bleed Dodger blue until I'm 6 feet deep, because this franchise is more than a franchise. And to me, that's just blasphemy. That's sacrilegious to even think of supporting another team, because the Dodgers will find a way to get a World Series title at some point. They should have already won one. There's no question. 2017, the Dodgers should have already won. But hey, remember what Roger Kahn said in The Boys of Summer: you may glory in a team triumphant, but you fall in love with a team in defeat. So that's why you love this team, because it's a little bit of a toxic relationship at this point. But don't give up on your boys in blue. That's the last thing we need right now, okay? Just keep going, and then look, once the final out is recorded and the Dodger season's over, then we'll really let it all hang out, because I'm still holding back a lot right now. But tonight was very discouraging. No leadership from Sanjay over on Facebook. Pinhead Larry, Dodgers sucks. Joshua Herrera, is there still hope? Luis, it's over. Doug over on YouTube. By the way, these are your opinions, and I'm totally cool with that, because you might be right, okay? So there is no filter here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show, so keep firing away. GM job to find better manager. We got Careless. We got can't win a game if you can't hit 1, 2, 3 Castillo. Exactly. When you register 3 hits and you're the Dodgers, that is not going to get it done. I don't care what team you're facing in the postseason game. You need to be able to manufacture and generate runs, and we've seen that. We've seen that derail this Dodger team during this 5-year run, is their inability to score runs in big games. And today they threw out another clunker. And they had a home run by Rios and a double by Justin Turner. But other than that, there was nothing doing with this Dodgers offense all night long. Go Sport Live in Atlanta. Don't forget 11 points in 1 inning, Joseph Ortega. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That when you're down in this game, that with 9 outs to go there in that 6th inning, the Dodgers still had an opportunity to get back into it, and unfortunately they were unable to. Clayton Kershaw tonight, 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 87 pitches, and unfortunately a night that will not help the crowd of people that want to slander Clayton Kershaw and say he doesn't have it. But if you really watch this game, the reality is that Clayton Kershaw shouldn't have been out there in the 6th inning, to me, under any circumstance. That, look, we don't know how his back is doing it. If you're an athlete, which I'm definitely not a superstar athlete, but if you're an athlete at their caliber, at their level, they're always going to want an opportunity to go out there and help their team win a game, especially when you're Clayton Kershaw. You're in your home stadium, in your home state. You live 10 miles away. You want to come out there and you want to give it your all, and they should have taken the ball from him and try to win this game by any means necessary. And I think that Dave Roberts' managerial miscues may have cost him in Game 2, and it sure as hell cost him tonight to an extent. I mean, I'm not putting this whole loss on Dave Roberts, because of how poorly the offense played. If the offense had played a little better, then I think you might look at that, because the offense was so bad tonight. They were going up there with holes in their bats. They couldn't hit a beach ball on a tee the way they were late on fastballs tonight against Bryce Wilson. But still, it's just – at some point, Dave Roberts needs to make a move during a big postseason game where you look back and say, wow, that was the move that swung the series. That was the decision that allowed the Dodgers to advance to the World Series. And to this point, there really is no move to point to. And I think tonight was another example that Dave Roberts' instincts and his feel for the game are just not where they need to be to get this team over the hump. But, hey, if they come back and win the series, I would love to eat crow. I would love to take that L. But right now, it looks like it's could be a bleak outcome, but hey, don't give up on your Los Angeles Dodgers until the last out. Kersh did fine for the first 5 innings. Every time after 4 at-bats, they figure him out. Raybar Simeon, if Roberts' first year, he had a game, exactly. David, we are done. We got Chokeshaw. I hate to read those, just hurts my heart. Eric Roberts caused us to lose game 1 and 2. Brian Gax. Hey, what's up, Brian Gax over on YouTube? I remember you over on the good old times. But Jeremy, this was not on Kershaw. I still bleed blue, but come on, Roberts. Kersh goes 5 only. Yes, it's not on Kershaw. It's not on Kershaw. But look, this is Clayton Kershaw, a guy. He's getting paid $30 million a year, okay? He's getting paid $30 million a year, and you want him to deliver. And unfortunately, in that inning, he had some bad breaks. And like I said, it's not all on Kershaw. No, tonight. It's not like he got rocked and gave up home run to Adams or something like that. I'm not going to bring up some of those names and relive those nightmares. But let's get back into his. So top of the third, Rios comes up, and Rio comes up grande on a 1-1 count. Edwin Rios cranks a Wilson fastball, 399 feet to give the Dodgers a 1-0 lead, and that was it. A 1-run, 1-hit. Inning there for the Dodgers, and they strike first. Then the bottom of the third inning. So Camargo singles to left center, and that's a play that really should have been an error there by Corey Seager. So it's another one that I think that one should have been an error, an E-on-6 on that play, but it doesn't go as an error. Goes up into left field, and then on a 3-2 count, Kersh gets Pache swinging on a slider for the first out, gets Acuna to ground into a double play to get out of the inning. So no runs, 1 hit, nobody left. So the double play, the ground balls were working. He was working the bottom of the zone very well. That slider had the depth and bite to it early. So I was very encouraged with what I saw in the early innings from Clayton Kershaw. Then in the bottom of the 4th inning. So he gets Freeman to line out, and that's another loud out. 101 off the bat. Ozuna crushes one to tie things up. 108.6 off the bat. 422 feet deep into the heart of Texas. And then Ozuna's solo bomb was the first home run that Kershaw has ever allowed in over 25 postseason innings against the Atlanta Braves. Only extra base hit he'd given up was an Acuna one in Game 2 of the 2018 NLCS. It was a hanging slider. He cranked it. And he was due, so he's starting to get going. He gets another bomb later in the game. So Kershaw, he walks d'Arnaud. Then he uses curveball to get Albies on a comebacker, throws a laser to first to get Albies for the second out. And then, like I said, he's battling out there. He was keeping damage to a minimum, and we will live with those solo shots. So they escaped the 4th inning without very much damage. Just 1 home run there by Ozuna. We're gonna jump to the later innings in a second, but let's jump back here. Scott, Doug, please answer this question. Why was Kike starting versus a righty? Any idea? Yeah, I mean, they were stacking those lefties in the lineup there. They were stacking those lefties, and a lot of people were wondering, would this work out? When Muncy was hot yesterday, Edwin Rios hit the bomb, Cody Bellinger hit a bomb, and it looked like that might have been a fruitful idea, but unfortunately it did not pay dividends. And Kike Hernandez, you would think that defensively, you wouldn't have to worry about Kike defensively, and Kike does have some pop. I mean, Kike Hernandez heading in tonight was 2 for 4, hitting 500 with a ground out, but against a righty, I guess you got to look at. But Kike can line up to one. But we're the Buffalo Bills from Lynn. We got Dodgers are done from Oswald over on Facebook. Luis Puig is loving this. Hey, man, I'll never love Buehler will lose it for us in tomorrow's from 5150. I don't think he will pitch tomorrow. I think they're going to save him for Game 6, but I could be wrong unless they've announced something. we go live right after the show. By the way, if you're on Facebook, be sure to share the show so your friends can join in here on this misery. If you're on Twitter, be sure to retweet so your friends can join in here on this heartbreaking episode of the Dodgers Nation post-game show. But look, let's lift your spirits for a second and let you know that the Dodgers are not out of this series. There's a couple – this series can swing. We saw how dramatically momentum can shift in this series. And tomorrow with Dustin May going, the Dodgers offense can only go up from here. And, look, I think tomorrow will be a competitive game. I don't see yet. You got to find it hard to believe that a Dodger team can go out like this. And the Dodgers team will go out in 5 games against this Atlanta Braves team. So tonight, the Dodgers over 3 with runners in scoring position. 5 left on base, could not give you the big hit at any point. And really, the thing early in the game was their inability to get base runners in the first 5 innings against Wilson. Just could not find a way to get anything going, save for that Rios bomb. But hey, guys, Dave just said May's going. Thank you, Bruce Davis, over on YouTube. So I have faith in Dustin May. He can give you 4 or 5 solid innings. And, look, we could talk about the pitching all day, and I have my doubts with this bullpen because tonight you saw Jake McGee gives up another bomb. You saw Victor Gonzalez, who's been very consistent, gives up that single. And then our beloved Bazooka get rocks in there. By the way, you know I love me some Bazooka. But to me, that's for 100 miles per hour, a pitch that goes 100 miles per hour, that looks like the easiest 100 miles per hour pitch to hit, right? I mean, as far as getting contact on it, still has some developing to do. But I have full confidence that the Bazooka will get it done. We got anything is possible from Eric Fogg. We got Gail over there on Facebook saying they are doomed, period. Doug, if we fire Dave Roberts, who should we hire as our next manager? It's a great question. I'm not going to go there until we lose, though. I'm not going to go there until we lose. So you'll want to tune in if the Dodgers season ends because I have a lot of thoughts on Dave Roberts' job status and who should fill his role if Andrew Freeman wants to explore some opportunities. I think it's important to note that Andrew Freeman runs the Los Angeles Dodgers, and he makes a lot of the decisions. But I think that Dave Roberts, I think it's almost a cop-out to say that Dave Roberts is just some puppet manager, that's some mascot for the team. No, Dave Roberts has the ability to go out there and make decisions. You see it in real time. And unfortunately tonight was another example of Dave Roberts, I think, making a poor decision and putting Kershaw in a bad spot. We got Doug. Let's get rid of Dave and hire Alex. Steve, I don't want to. Alex Cora is going to be Alex Cora will be the manager of the Boston Red Sox. You heard it here. Replying. By the way, that's no. Well, let's. Oh man, keep missing the guys' comments. You guys are flying out there, man. Keep it coming, man. I'll stay here as I read all your comments. I'm telling you guys. Jin, we need to score runs. Come on, we need to have more fire. We got Edgar Renteria. Doug, the Dodgers don't look hungry at all. The bats are dead. Jonathan, Jorge. It doesn't matter on the coach as long as Freeman is there. That's a fair point. That's a valid point in my opinion. I don't think it matters completely because, look, tonight the Dodgers lack fire. To me, the Dodgers came out there lackadaisical, and you got to come out there ready to mash, ready to crank, and they just didn't look the part early on. He's a puppet from Jorge. Dodgers will win from Gio. We got Freeman needs to go along with Dave. I disagree with that. In Freeman, we trust, man. But I do think that Freeman needs to develop a bullpen. I do think that he needs to invest in a bullpen. These scrap heat guys don't get it done. Jake McGee has not gotten it done. Blake Trinan, he has not gotten it done. These reclamation projects that the Dodgers have been taking on have not paid off. And I think that at some point you have to invest in the bullpen. The Joe Kelly signing has proven to be, look, last year didn't work out well, and this year he hasn't flew through the postseason like we saw him in 2018. So to me, here we go. Jonathan, Doug, you're killing me. We need to go a different way. I didn't say we don't need to go in a different way, but we still have 27 outs to go with our season. We still have another game left. I'm not ready to look at the offseason quite yet because there's been too many examples of teams trailing 3-1. Look, baseball and hockey are the only professional sports where teams have come back trailing 3-0. Dodgers, they're down 3-1. You win a game tomorrow, and then you got Walker Buehler, the best pitcher. To me, the elite pitcher on the staff. And I think that he's still due for his signature big game Buehler postseason game that we have yet to see. And then, look, you just take it one game at a time. And I think that at some point these young pitchers are going to break for the Braves. And if they don't, you got to tip your cap. And you also have to look at this Dodgers offense and say, hey, it's time to step up. It's time to consistently put together competitive at-bats and score some runs on a regular basis, because I don't know what happened yesterday, but that is in the past. Today was a new day. They didn't deliver, and they need to get it done tomorrow. But, Vanessa, even if we make it out of this, can we handle the World Series losing confidence? To me, I'm along for the ride, man. I don't care. This toxic relationship is one of the best things that ever happened to me. I don't care. The glory, the pain, the rainbows, the rain. I don't care what it is. The Dodgers to me are just it's a toxic relationship, but I'll never quit the Los Angeles Dodgers for as much pain as they put us through, because, look, it could be worse. We could be in the depths of the division and not be perennial World Series contenders, which the Dodgers are. But at some point, the Dodgers have to come through and win a World Series. Look, it took the Dodgers 5 times losing to the New York Yankees before the Boys of Summer became the Legends of the Fall in 1955 with Jackie Robinson, the gang, winning the World Series. So, look, I mean, there's a lot of pain that goes along with being a baseball fan. Baseball is a very cruel sport. It's not for the faint of heart. But here we go. You won't even read it. Keep going, man. There's a lot of comments. I'll read all these comments, man. We'll do Dodgers in October, our Halloween from Hugo. Brandon Stewart. We got Brandon Stewart over there. I agree with those that say we need to change direction. This rinse and repeat. Yeah, at some point, you need a new voice in that clubhouse if they're not getting through. Sometimes you do need a big shakeup. I thought Mookie Betts was that shakeup. But unfortunately, look, tonight, their number two starter, Clayton Kershaw, he came out there. He gave you 5 solid innings, coming off a back spasm injury. His back was barking, coming off of an extended rest, and you have to take that. And the Dodgers got greedy tonight. And, let's look at that. Let's look at the bottom of the 5th. So Clayton Kershaw was Clayton Kershaw for a little bit. He gets rallied to fly out. He hits one off the end of the bat for the first out of the inning, gets Camargo to ground out for the second out, strikes out Pache on 3 pitches. To me, that was his best sequence of the game. Fastball, curveball, and he gets a slider swing at the bottom of the zone to get out of the 5th. So maybe that's why they thought that they could bring him out there in that 5th inning, because he had a 1-2-3 5th. He struck out Pache. Maybe they thought that, hey, we can get Kershaw against the top of this lineup, but boy, were they wrong, and were they ever. But here we go. Pitching needs to get better. Roberts is the Dusty Baker. Can't win. Will Gordon, we just have to win 1 game, 3 games in a row. That's a great way to put it, Will Gordon. That's a great way to kind of process this. You win 1 game at a time. We've seen the Dodgers sweep teams all season long, and to me, I'm not ready to quit on this year's team. Yes, the odds are stacked against the Dodgers, but it could definitely happen. This team can ride some momentum. To me, let's find a way to get the ball to Walker Buehler in Game 6. If they can get the ball to Walker Buehler in Game 6, Game 7, the Dodgers would have all the momentum because, hey, that's how you would the Dodgers would have the momentum because of the depth. But to me, I've heard all this talk about the Dodgers' depth. But look, where is that bullpen depth? I mean, to me, where really is that starting pitching depth? Because to me, you look back, it almost looks like the Dodgers could use another starter. I don't know if it's a Lance Lynn. I don't know if we should have not traded Ross Stripling. I don't know if it'd be awesome if David Price, like Markakis, who opted in, David Price would have opted in. Not judging him, but it does look like the Dodgers, another arm. I mean, imagine if the Dodgers had another starting pitcher and we had Gonsolin and May just coming out of the bullpen, and with Urias, I'm telling you, the Dodgers look like they don't have the arms and they don't have the pitching depth that everyone wants to talk about. Because to me, I think they're limited, and I think that's their weakness, because for the majority of the series, the Dodgers have gotten out-hit, save for yesterday where they were still able to score some runs. But, Doug, it's killing me. Hey, you're going to be okay, my man. Jonathan Robles, you're going to be fine. Careless, fire Roberts from Careless. Isaac, we need to throw our good luck bomb on them. Jaron, let's go 1-0 starting tomorrow from Jarson Lopez. Win 3 in a row from Luis. We got Fire Roberts, Utley, or Ellis. Yeah, those are interesting names. But, yeah, you'll want to tune in if the Dodgers lose. I'll give you a lot to talk about. It's over, Doug. Stop excuses. We need hashtag Salty Dave over on YouTube. Anthony, we got rookies and still better. It's another name. We got rid of Maeda and Ryu. Well, Ryu got rocked in the postseason, but Kenta Maeda was one of the hottest pitchers all season long. But you had to kind of get that. We had to get that trade to finalize the Mookie deal. So Freeman built this team to incorrectly rely on home runs. Gio Rivas, Dodgers in Game 7. I like your positivity over there, Gio Rivas over on Facebook. We need that is the worst comment I've ever gotten on the show. Just log off, bro. Don't be racist, man. Where is Kelly from Isaac? We got Freeman has known since 2017. We need, Kershaw is washed. We ain't ever winning. Bellinger is a playoff ghost. Hey, Cody Bellinger, 3 for 13 heading in tonight. Cody Bellinger got the home run, got the triple in Game 2. Cody Bellinger made some nice plays defensively. On the night, though, Cody Bellinger goes 0 for 3 with the walk. I hope Joe Buck has car trouble tomorrow. Can't stand one more day of his voice. Yeah, look, if Joe Davis is calling this series, the Dodgers are probably celebrating a sweep tonight. I don't know. I can't prove that. I know it sounds ridiculous, but there's something about Joe Davis. He just has too much fun, too much excitement when bad things go for the Dodgers. I know a lot of people say that about their team and Joe Buck, but hey, the Braves are stealing signs from N-Wolf. Miracle is coming from Martin. I love that. We got Jorge Wong, Dodgers in 7, Andre. We got Padres, Braves, Cubs, Brewers, Nats, all on our level now. Adrian Carlos, the Dodgers only lose because they aren't fired up enough. If I was playing for them, I'd be screaming, let's go. Yeah, definitely could use a little more fire in that Dodger dugout on the pace path with the baseball bat there, and a little more fire would definitely go a long way. Fired Joe Buck. Drew, why didn't Roberts take out Kershaw when Acuna got that hit? Yeah, to me, it's better earlier than never, right? I mean, come out there. I thought that Dave Roberts would have learned from previous mistakes, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. They allowed Clayton Kershaw to suffer out there. He ends up giving up 4 runs and 4 earned runs, 7 hits, 7 strikeouts. Joe Bucks is terrible at baseball. Just be a Braves fan. It's hilarious. We got a lot of they need better pitching from Danny Vargas. Astros doing good. We need to win for Kobe. Exactly. I love that one. We got the Astros can come back. We need to sign Bauer. We need to sign Puig back seriously from Jake. Neil K, they need a Kirk Gibson. Everyone, Kirk Gibson on the anniversary of Kirk Gibson. I was hoping that the anniversary of Kirk Gibson, the anniversary of Justin Turner. I thought that maybe some magic. You'd see some magic tonight, but unfortunately it was not the case. And look, I just thought that their game plan, they knew what Clayton Kershaw was going to do. 84% of the time on the first pitch, Clayton Kershaw is going to give you a strike. And I thought that their approach right there on Clayton Kershaw, for the most part, he had him. He had him for 5 innings. And then there's that bottom of the 6th. They're bottom of the 6th. It's October. It's going to be like a scary movie here, but we have to break it down here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Let's squeeze in some more comments. Dodgers in 7 from Harold. Yeah, give me your final predictions. Give me your final predictions for this series. Dodgers in 5, 6, or 7. Will the Dodgers lose in 5? Will they lose in 6? Will they lose in 7? To me, I still think the Dodgers have an opportunity to win in 7. I still think it's possible. I'm not saying it'll happen. I'm not predicting it right here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. But can I block? I don't know if that's possible. We'll look into it though. I mean, he's kind of spamming the comments up and never has anything really interesting to say anyway. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know. But hey, man, keep firing away, baby. For 7+ years, no added free agent power pitchers from Jimmy. Yeah, I mean, they made a run on Garrett Cole. And Garrett Cole chose the New York Yankees. So there's been opportunities. And look, the Nationals, they re-signed Steven Strasburg, and look what happened with that. But I've been someone who's been on the train where the Dodgers need to increase their starting pitching depth as far as frontline power pitchers that get it done the postseason. You saw today those heaters that can miss bats, that's what plays up in the postseason. Finesse pitchers, for the most part, aren't winning big games in the postseason as much as power pitchers are. So, yeah, I think that's something that needs to be addressed at some point if the Dodgers want to find a way to win a World Series. But, hey, look, the season's not over, guys. We still have 1 game to play. We're talking like the season's over. The Dodgers will be back playing a game tomorrow, so don't give up on your boys in blue. And we'll see. Bueller Game 6, Julio Game 7 from Isaac. Yes. I like that. I like that right there. You called it right there, Isaac. That's something I want to see. I trust Julio. As long as he can come out there in that first inning and throw strikes, he's a guy that had a lot of success against his Braves lineup. A lot of soft contact, a lot of quick, easy outs. And this team's going to be shaken up. This team is going to be shaken up. no matter what. You're probably not going to see Kike. You're not going to see Pedro Baez. You're not going to see Jock Peterson. This could be their last game together. So I think that team knows this, and they don't want to go out in 5 against this Braves team. I hope this Dodger team come tomorrow with some Tommy Lasorda-like fire and find a way to win a game. Because it's about winning a game, and you take it such a cliche, but it's truth. It's the truth, okay? You win one game, and then you get the ball to your best starter in Walker Buehler there in Game 6, and then anything can happen in Game 7, and I like my chances with Julio Urias. So tomorrow is a one-game season. Let's go undefeated. I like that mentality. Anson Chen over on Facebook. Dodgers should walk Freeman. We got Dave Roberts is the 12 trending on Twitter. Yeah, I mean, let's look at that 6th inning, though, okay? So bottom of the 6th, Acuna, he hits a high chopper. Kike tries to barehand it and couldn't make the play. Acuna hurt his wrist on it, but it was a bad throw. It gets away, and he advances to second on the play with no outs. The error by Kike Hernandez. Then Freddie Freeman, the aforementioned Freddie Freeman you just mentioned right here, he doubles on a sharp line drive to right, scoring Acuna from second on a 91-mile-per-hour fastball. It was a pitch that he could drive, and then the wheels were starting to fall off for Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers. So Freddie Freeman gets that single, and then Marcell Ozuna doubles to center. Freddie Freeman scores, making it 3-1 Braves, and he hit Kershaw's curveball there, and that was it for Kersh. He was done, a couple singles and a double, and it was only the beginning for the Braves in that inning. They turn to Brusdar Graterol, who gets d'Arnaud to line to right for the first out, and then Albies singles to right. Ozuna holds at third, and then that gives the Braves runners on the corners with one out. Swanson doubles to left, scoring Ozuna and Albies to make it 5-1 Braves. And then Riley singles to center, scoring Swanson, making it 6-1 Bravos. And that was it for Bazooka. He goes a third of an inning, gives up 3 runs, 3 hits, no strikeouts, 3 swings and misses. So, like I said, it's been said before, he definitely needs to find a way to miss more bats and find a way to make that 100-mile-per-hour fastball play up just a little more by mixing speeds, changing eye levels, and just finding a way to make it more effective. But here we go. Who do you think? Why do you think it's the same story every October? That's from Ramix over on Periscope. I think that, look, it's a confluence of factors. I think in 2017, we could be talking about Clayton Kershaw as a World Series MVP. He dominates Game 1. In Game 4, before he gave up that hit to Correa and that home run to Gurriel, that 3-run shot to Gurriel, he was cruising right along. He had thrown 51 curveballs and sliders, and they didn't offer at one of them. So they were cheating, and I think the narrative on Clayton Kershaw would have been, look, his peak was amazing. He delivered in the 2017 World Series, and now he's riding off into the sunset. So to me, his narrative will always be distorted because he should be a World Series champion, and he should have the hardware of being an MVP, a 3-time Cy Young winner, and a World Series MVP. So even if you want to look at all of his playoff shortcomings, his postseason shortcomings, and there are many to talk about, which I won't do at length because it hurts, but the bottom line is he pitched well enough to win the 2017 World Series, and unfortunately the Dodgers offense didn't do him any favors there as well. So, well, in that game they did. They scored, they lost 13-12 in that game, but Game 7, was another clunker. Braves going down, diehard Dodgers fans forever. I needed that. That's from Sean over on Facebook. Here we go. Enough about 2017 FFS. Hey, to me, that's still very much on my mind every single day. So, Doug, we should but to answer your question, though, is, look, we've seen every year is the bullpen lets the Dodgers down. Sometimes it's the offense, but more often than not, it's going to be these Dodgers arms and big home runs from the opposing team. We saw it in the Red Sox with Pierce, with Bradley Jr. We saw big home runs in that clinching game when Kershaw gave up some bombs to Mookie and Pierce. I mean, there were multiple times where it's just a home run ball and the arm's not delivering, and I think the Dodgers need to do a better job in developing a lights-out bullpen that can miss more bats and strike out more guys and not rely on contact to get your outs. I think that this year, a trade at the deadline for a Lance Lynn or a Trevor Bauer, this would be a very different Dodgers pitching staff, and I think it's a little early to talk about that kind of stuff, and I really will kind of stop myself right there, but it does look like from an arm standpoint, this Dodger team has not got it done with their inability to get big outs and put the fire out in certain innings. Look, if you look at this series, the Dodgers, they lose game 1 8-7. Yesterday 15-3. Today 10-2. So So, yeah, game 1 they lost 5-1. Game 2 they lose 8-7. Yesterday they win 15-3, and today they win. The Braves win 10-2. So I think that's one of the big factors. And here we go. Remember, they have a David Price. Bullpen has been awful. Rios is ready to start. Yeah, I think that Rios has shown me something. Really competitive at bat there. Again, yeah, really competitive at bat there for Will Smith. I mean, for Edwin Rios. I think that he definitely deserves a look as an everyday starter in the future. But yeah, guys, if you have not, give me your predictions. Anyone have who has the Dodgers going in 7? Let me know down below in the comments. We're my Dodger fans. You have them going in 7. Doesn't mean you're any less of a Dodger fan if you don't believe that, because it's definitely possible they go down tomorrow in Game 6. But I do want your opinion. They need to have the fire alarms go off in the Braves bubble tonight. That's funny. We have 7. We have the Braves in 5, Dodgers in 7, Astros in 7. Game 7, Rios over Pollock. Do you think the Dodgers have the Clippers curse? No, the Dodgers don't have the Clippers curse because the Dodgers have 6 world championships, 5 in Los Angeles, 1 in Brooklyn. So the Clippers have never been to the conference finals. To compare the Dodgers with the Clippers are barely an NBA franchise, okay? They shouldn't be a franchise. Taylor Swift has more banners in Staples Center than the Clippers. So, no, they don't have the Clippers curse. Now, do they have the Kirk Gibson curse? I could get down with that theory because since Kirk Gibson had that shot there, maybe he sold his soul to the baseball gods to win one, right for Gibby there. But, look, the Dodgers, the season is not over. The Dodgers can win tomorrow, and if they do, I like their chances with Walker Buehler in Game 6. The Dodgers have the curse of not being good enough to win it all. It's simple. In your opinion, do you think the Dodgers have a chance? I definitely think the Dodgers have a puncher's chance to find a way to get back in the series and take it to Game 7, and that's all you can do at this point. Look, the Dodgers in 2017, they were down 3-2, and they win Game 6, and they took it to Game 7. So it's a little different this time around because there is no home field advantage for any team. It's a neutral site game. Yes, there's some Braves fans there. Yes, you have the first at-bat versus the last at-bat. But bottom line is I don't think this is phasing any of these players. I don't think that it's changing the circumstances of games like it would have in a regular year. But we got Dodgers have the Braves curse from the 90s. Interesting take there. And look, the Braves are a good example. If you want to talk about a team that's came back, the Atlanta Braves in 1996, they came back down 3-1 to the Cardinals, and they were able to get to the World Series. 1986, Red Sox over the Angels. 1985, the Royals over the Cardinals. 1958, Yankees over the Braves. So it's been done to the Braves, against the Braves, and the Dodgers are going to make some history. I think they have a real shot at it. Joseph Megazzeni at day 1 here. We better get a live chicken to sacrifice to wake up the at-bats. I love that one. Yeah, whatever we have to do, whatever you have to sacrifice, we call Pedro Serrano right now and find a way. I don't care what it is. Do your superstitions. Find your routines. The Dodgers this season cannot end tomorrow. I do not want the season to end tomorrow. You win tomorrow and you start to feel good again and you like your chances with the best pitcher on your staff and one of the best pitchers in the game going against the Braves. And like I said, I don't know if a young pitcher can get past this Dodger team again. The more times the Dodger hitters, who are absolutely terrible tonight, the more times they see these pitchers, more times they face them, the better they're going to fare and the more success they're going to have against them. But here we go. At least this guy is positive. Yeah, I mean, I'm positive, but I'm also hurt. I'm like one of those guys who, have a torture relationship with this franchise, but I wouldn't change anything. Just the nature of the beast with this franchise. And, let's get back into it. Clayton Kershaw, like I said, wasn't locating particularly well. Some deep counts, the velocity was fine. It was just some of those deep counts there early on. He wasn't hitting his spots as well as he would have liked to, but like I said, you'll take those first 5 innings. You did have some loud outs, so you did see that big inning coming at some point, but like I said, a little bit of rust, some extra days off. He wasn't as sharp, but if the Dodgers were able to put up some runs and he was able to pitch with a lead, it could have been a different story. But look, like I said, bottom line, he had no business out there in the 6th, and unfortunately, with Clayton Kershaw, another tough night. I hope this is not how it ends for Clayton Kershaw. And I really hope that he finds a way to get an opportunity to pitch in the World Series or late in this series. Hopefully not, because that would mean in a relief role. But I think that hopefully the next time we see Clayton Kershaw on the mound is against the Rays or the Astros in the World Series. But I'm not giving up hope. Why would I give up hope when we know this team has the firepower to do it? We know this team has the talent to do it, and it's been done before. There's no reason to quit on the Dodgers at this point. But, yep, guys, thanks again for rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Let's get back into this comment section here. And, let's get back in this comment section here. Why do they always choke? We got they need to fire Roberts if they lose tomorrow. Frank, that's an interesting take, because I remember early in the year I was giving Roberts the pandemic pass because of the weird year, the 60-game season. David Price opts out. But if you go down to the Braves in 5, and tomorrow there's another bad managerial miscue by Dave Roberts, I think that depending on who's out there, I think that you have to consider it. At this point, you might have to consider it. I think that it'd be tough to – right now the Braves look like the better team than the Dodgers. And when you lose to a team that you think it looks better than you, that might affect your decision. But at some point, your message becomes stale. You need a new voice. And I think that is there a trust factor with these players and Dave Roberts? Does he give them the confidence to have success? And to me, in Game 2, when you bring out Pedro Baez in relief, and we bruised our Gratterall available, which after tonight, maybe that makes that decision look a little different. To me, you're not playing to win, and you're not giving your offense confidence to succeed. So to me, I think that it's a pretty nuanced conversation. I'm sure we're going to have it if the Dodgers exit tomorrow or in the next few days. But to me, I think that it's an interesting conversation. We'll see how the Dodgers wrap this up. But to me, at this point, he's had so much success. And don't kid yourself. If the Dodgers fire Dave Roberts, he will have a managerial job the very next day. Someone will hire Dave Roberts in a heartbeat. So I think that's something to consider. And I remember how it was without Dave Roberts. And the grass isn't always greener, but at some point you do need a change. But I think it's still just a little premature right now. But, hey, if you want to talk about it, let's do it. As a Braves fan, I just want to say it's been fun watching this series. Yes, even the blowout yesterday, always had respect for the Dodgers. Hey, shout out to you and shout out to your team, because they're playing tough. The offense is rolling, and the Braves are more than a formidable opponent for the Dodgers right now. The Dodgers are going to get smoked tomorrow from Cameron. Maura O'Brien, go Dodgers now and forever, since the day I was born. Yeah, exactly. Braves choke. Gio Rivera's low energy tonight from David over on Facebook. We got I'm thinking the Giants will hire Roberts from Luis. I think they're okay with Gabe Kapler right now, especially his relationship with Farhan. Brian, good Lord, I had hoped to at least make the series competitive. And the Braves are the better team by a mile. Disappointing to go out like this without a fight, but it really sucks to say that I'm used to it. Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, the Dodger fans, if you want to look at the positives, is we're starting to become numb to this. And we're used to this hard break. We know what to do. And when it happens, it's not a foreign feeling. So you have no one to blame but your love for this team. But I'm telling you, one of these days, the Dodgers are going to win a World Series, and it's going to feel glorious, and it can still happen this year. Dusty Baker is doing more with less in terms of pitchers. Sal Gonzalez, yeah, look at Dusty Baker in yesterday's game. He leaves Zach Greinke out there, and Zach Greinke is able to get out of the inning, and he looks like a genius that gave his pitcher some confidence. And tonight, on the flip side, he doesn't have the hook on Clayton Kershaw, and he looks like it was a bad decision from a managerial standpoint. So, look, when you take that job as a major league manager, you know you're going to be judged by the decisions that you make. And when they don't go well, you're going to have fan bases like the Dodgers fan base that's not going to be very happy with it. So, yeah, that is just the nature of the beast for a major league manager. But Mattingly wins multiple rings with this lineup. That's pretty interesting. We get into Mattingly's moves. Mattingly had prime Kershaw and he didn't deliver, but he had some bad breaks, but he didn't have this level of talent. I agree with you. Mike Scioscia, next manager. I don't think that's going to be a fit with Friedman. I think that he's not very analytically driven. Maybe things have changed with Mike Scioscia. The game, some people think, has passed him a little bit. But, hey, to me, look, if it gets there, we'll spend a whole hour breaking down managers. I'm telling you, we'll do it. When they put in Baez, I was like, what, from Jill? Yeah, I was the same way. You bring in Baez in a clean inning with no runners on base, I get it. But with inherited runners in that situation, that's a white flag managerial move. That's a move saying, hey, we want to get out of this game and focus on the next game. Instead, you have to try to win every single game and every inning, and then you'll live with the results. But, yeah, to me, maybe that flipped the series, because if you look at that series, the Dodgers came so close at the end there. They lose by a score of 1, 8-7, and we might look back and say, hey, the Dodgers should have won that game too, and things would be different. But unfortunately, we are where we are, and we're trailing 3-1. We're in a hole. Backs are against the wall, but you just got to dig in, and you got to find a way to win tomorrow. Dustin May also pitching in his home state. I think Dustin May, he has more elite stuff that can get past his Braves lineup, and hopefully he just comes out and shines. Look, their pitchers pitch very well. Their pitchers have come out and balled out, so we need one of our pitchers, Dustin May, to do the same, because we know that there's not many pitchers in Major League Baseball that have more natural raw arm talent than Dustin Mania. So D-May, the Dodgers season is in your hands. Come out, deliver tomorrow, and then we'll worry about the Beal Dog in Game 6. And in Game 7, Julio Urias, he's a guy that I have confidence in. So to me, there is a map for the Dodgers to win this series and find a way to get into it. But Gio, that's right, Doug. Twin on the momentum. Oh, the momentum. Exactly, right? Momentum is a funny thing in Major League Baseball. And all the players, they said that it carried over from Game 2 to Game 3. And tonight was a different story. But you got to give Wilson some credit too. Like I said, he had him befuddled all night long. They were taking 3 of his 5 strikeouts were called strike threes for Wilson on the night. And defensively, there were a lot of seeing eye ground balls all night. The Albies chopper to Turner in the second, that was an impossible play. The Camargo single to left, that really should have gone as an error, but the throwing error that led to that 6-run 6th inning for the Braves, that was bad. And that error by Beatty right there on the Pache ground out. The Dodgers just were not sharp in all facets today, save for 5 solid innings from Clayton Kershaw. So, Clayton Kershaw was grinding out there, man. I have to say, I'm actually satisfied with what he did, because I don't think he's right. I'm not making an excuse for Clayton Kershaw, but if you've watched this man pitch his entire career, you know he wasn't 100% tonight. He was not 100% in tonight's game, and he still gave you 5 solid innings, gives up the 1 solo shot, and Dave Roberts and the Dodgers, they got greedy. He had no business out there in the 6th, and like I said, Bryce Wilson, 3 of his 5 strikeouts were looking. Muncy was called out on strikes in the 2nd. Bellinger and Rios were called out on strikes in the 5th. And then Kike was on that check swing there. So they were offering at pitches on the edges, top of the zone, not in the Dodgers' wheelhouse. And I just think offensively it was a real disaster with their game plan, their inability to catch up to any of those fastballs. I thought that at some point they were going to find a way to get some bombs, but here we go. We made Wilson look better than he was. I agree with you, Moose, over on Periscope. Scott, it carried over for only 3 innings of Game 3. They haven't done squat since. They have been ice cold since. You are not wrong. Big facts over there. Landon McClure, Braves will wax him. Dodgers did not grind out any at-bats tonight. Yeah, until late in the game, they were not. You saw some quick outs. You saw some – it's almost like they thought, okay, instead of flipping the script and executing their approach where it's all about strike zone awareness, swing at strikes, we're getting the pitcher count up, it was this really weird mix of we're going to try to just swing at first pitches and try to open things up, but it just did not work out. And like I said, Wilson, he pitched a really solid game for them. He had some great life on that 4-seamer tonight. Man, I'm hoping we don't become like the Red Sox and the Cubs. Gerald Valencia Jr., I don't think it's going to be 86 years or 114 years. So I don't know. Yeah, so we'll see, though. We'll see. I mean, you never know. You just never know. But look, right now it's at 32 years. But look, I mean, at some point, you have to find a way to win one of these World Series. And it took the Cubs 71 years. It took the Red Sox 86 years. The Dodgers, with this talent, with the resources, to me, they can find a way. They're going to win a World Series at some point. And look, I mean, if the Dodgers won this year, you know what would happen anyway, right? Everyone would say, oh, it's not a legitimate World Series anyway. It's a 60-game season. So you call it what you will. 32 years sounds like a jinx to me. I mean, yeah, we're definitely in cursed territory. Once you get close to 40, you can start calling a curse if you want. You can call whatever you want. At the end of the day, they have to find a way to win a World Series. But, yep, guys, we're going to be back tomorrow, win or lose. Win or lose, I think the Dodgers will find a way to make it interesting. I think the Dodgers can win tomorrow. I think they come out. Hopefully they come out and play with like their hair's on fire with their season on the line. The Dodgers should be able to get a win tomorrow, and we'll talk about it right after the game. So have those Dodger takes ready. Watch the game. Get your takes ready. And as soon as the final out is made, we're going to be going live. So be sure to rock with us again on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. Don't forget to subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout, Dodgers Nation podcast. And what this is you're going to see all of your takes on tomorrow's episode, where you can find that on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcast. And also get geared up, get some Dodgers merch. And go over to DodgersNation.com for the latest news and rumors. And all things Dodgers, you're going to find over there, DodgersNation.com, your home for all things Dodgers. But thanks again, guys. As always, a tough loss. I know tonight was not a fun night to do the post-game show, but we had to break it down. Tomorrow is a new day. As soon as you wake up tomorrow, I want positive vibes heading into Game 5, and we'll see if the Dodgers can find a way to get a win and extend their season and look forward to Game 6. But as always, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot, guys, for rocking with us here. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Swung on and missed a perfect game.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter.
Clayton Kershaw pitches a no-hitter. Turner in the air to center field. That ball's hit well. Martinez on the run. This is way back, and it is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner.
And for the second consecutive season, the Dodgers are going to the World Series.
Bellinger hammers the ball. It's Bellinger's turn. Lifts a fly ball to left center field. Back towards the wall. It is gone. Mookie with another 3-home run game. Bellinger twisting around. Still going.